Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So today is a very hot day and I have been watching a lot of pro makeup artists on YouTube and on Instagram, and their models always look incredibly good. First, they're beautiful, and second, they apply pretty beautiful makeup on them. And so I thought, hey, let me try to recreate that kind of a little bit, because I'm not like trying to recreate a specific look. I'm just trying to recreate like the techniques that they use. Yeah, I do not look like one of those models, nor am I a professional makeup artist. So I don't know how this will turn out, but I'm just very excited and I just want to try a lot of things today. So that's what I'm going to do, and I hope that you enjoy it. Let's get started. Alright, so first things first, if you hear a buzzing in the background, it's my ventilator because it is incredibly hot today and I am melting here, and I cannot leave the doors or the windows open because then you hear the sounds of outside and they're much louder than just the ventilator. So I have my ventilator beside me, which is trying to make me not overheat and die. So I'm very sorry if it's a little bit annoying. I hope you cannot hear it, but we shall see, you know. Well, I'm going to start by just clipping my hair out of my face because, you know, they always kind of do that. Okay, so I'm going to start by prepping my face. They always moisturize a lot. Like, the skin of the models seems to be wet when they start applying products on them. So I'm going to do that too. I'm going to moisturize more than I normally would, but not that much either, because it's summertime and it's really hot outside and my skin is combination too oily, so I do not need that much moisture. And I'm also like really hot right now, so I feel like my skin's already really oily, and I do not have any of their fancy like moisturizers, but I was on the hunt for what I do have that's really moisturizing, and it's the Veleda Skin Food Cream for dry skin. This, I would honestly normally do not use that on my face. I normally use this on my body where you have like dryness or like chapped lips or something, but I know that a lot of people use it for their skin when they have like really dry skin and stuff. So I wanted to use just a little bit of it to try to recreate that really glossy base that they like start off with. So I'm just going to take a little bit of it and hope that this does not ruin everything, because like I said, I've never used this on my skin for this purpose. So I'm just like rubbing it into my fingers, and I'm going to apply it to my face. What if it ends up ruining everything, you know? Now I'm going to use primer. For primer, I'm going to be using different ones because, like, I don't know, I feel like most of them just use like a moisturizing primer, but I also want to use a pore filling primer to make my skin look as poreless as possible. So first I'm going to use the Maybelline Face Studio moisturizing primer, like hydrating primer. And I'm going to use maybe a little bit more than I would normally do. For a pore filling primer, I'm going to be using this Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer, the pore minimizing one, which is this little guy here. I mean, I have it in the small version, there's a bigger one. And work it mostly here where I have big pores around my nose and like on my cheeks. I don't know if this is doing a lot because my base is so slippery. I gotta admit, I feel like it did nothing. So I'm going to take a little bit more and try to like press it in more. Maybe I should have used it before the moisturizing primer. Now for foundation. They tend to use really expensive, really fancy like Dior and Chanel and stuff like that foundations that I do not own. The, I think, fanciest and most expensive foundation that I own is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. Now, the foundations that they use tend to be glowy and just beautiful and just like light, but really like they cover pretty well, but they're still glowy at the same time. This foundation is matte. If you've ever heard of a mattifying foundation, this is a mattifying foundation. The way that I do my makeup kind of changed, and I do not use that of a full coverage foundations anymore, but I still wanted to try this one out for today. But because I want it to be glowy, what I'm going to be doing is actually mixing it with a little bit of an oil. That's something that I saw a lot of like makeup artists do a while ago. That's not like the biggest trend right now. Now I'm going to be using the 100% plant derived hemisqualane oil by The Ordinary. It's actually I don't even know if it's like really an oil, but it is kind of like a serumy oily texture. So I'm going to mix a little bit of this in because also it's the only oil that I have right now. Also, I feel like most of the makeup artists use brushes and not beauty blenders or beauty sponges on their models. I'm going to be taking the Real Techniques sculpting brush, and I'm just going to take it on the brush and start blending this into my skin. I feel like the oil made it way less full coverage, because this is a really full coverage foundation actually, but right now it's like really not applying like that. I always feel like I get streaks with foundation brushes. That's why I tend to use a sponge. I feel like this just covered like a tinted moisturizer, which is crazy because this is a really full coverage foundation, and I just applied one like little drop of the oil, as you saw. But I'm going to take more and just do the same thing again. Oh no, I got it all over my earring. That's why I don't wear earrings when I do my makeup. I'm going to take them off. My skin is still streaky no matter how much I work the product in. I am going to use a sponge. So I'm taking a damp beauty blender and just going all over my face, making sure that there's no visible streaks anywhere. Alright, this is as good as it's going to get right now. I'm going to go in with concealer, and for concealer I'm going to mix a little bit of something there. I do not have any like high-end concealers, and I do not have a lot of really full coverage concealers either, just because I don't use full coverage concealers that often. But today I'm going to mix just my regular Instant Age Rewind concealer with a little bit of the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage concealer. Now for concealer, again, they tend to use a brush, and I actually see them use small little like eyeshadow type brushes, and I don't know how that will work on me, but I am going to try and use the Real Techniques base shadow brush. I'm going to take a little bit of this concealer and like put it in my hand like that, and then I'm going to take a little bit of this other one, Makeup Revolution one, and put it also on my hand, and then I'm going to just take a mixture of both onto my brush and start working that on my under eyes. Okay, this is just not blending it how I want it. I feel like it's just making everything look streaky again. I'm gonna go in and just like use bronzer. I'm thinking if I'm going to use cream or if I'm going to use powder, and I think I might use both because I know a lot of pro makeup artists do use both. Alright, my camera stopped recording because the battery was empty, I guess, but it did not show me, so I didn't know. But I did not do anything actually. Well, as it turns out, it actually did not record a big chunk of what I actually did with my makeup. I'm very sorry about that. So let me just tell you what I did. I actually just applied a cream bronzer, and then I applied my lipstick as a blush because that's something that I've seen a lot of makeup artists do actually. And yeah, that's basically it. But let's keep going. The next step that I was going to do was apply highlight. So I'm going to take the Maybelline Master Strobing Stick Illuminating Highlighter in the shade 200 Medium Nude, which is this little guy here, and I'm going to just take it again with the same beauty sponge. I'm just working with the sponges here because that whole brush thing is just not my jam. And I'm just going to apply it onto the high points of my cheeks, highlighting the cupid's bow here and tints a bit on the nose, So we have all these cream products on, and I guess I should go in with bronzer now, like with a, not bronzer, but with powder products. But I'm just kind of feeling this. So I thought I'm going to do my eyes and then I'm going to come back and see if I still want to apply powder on top of this whole thing, because I just feel like it's looking really pretty, you know, it's looking really good. And so I don't know if I want to apply anything else. Okay, so I'm back. I finished my eyelids and so I'm back. I finished my eyes and my lips. I did film another video about that, so if you want to see it, it's either already up or it will be up very soon. If it is already up, I'm going to link it somewhere here, and if not, it will be up very soon. So just check that out if you want to see how I created everything else going on right here. But for my face, for like the finishing touches, right now that I have this going on, I thought let me go ahead and just apply a little bit of powder on top, just because I thought it will look a little bit nicer. So I'm going to take the Max Factor cream bronzer in light gold, which is not a cream bronzer but just like a regular bronzer, but it's called cream bronzer because who understands them? I do not. But anyways, I'm just going to take a brush and take a little bit of it and just like apply it on top. Okay, so for blush, because I do not have a color that I feel that would look good with the lipstick, I'm going to just take a little bit more of the lipstick, just again how I did it before, a tiny bit more onto the cheeks, just because I feel like it looks like it's missing a little bit of it, but maybe it's just my imagination and it's already enough. Yeah, it's fine. For highlighter, I'm going to take the Laura Geller Sunbeams highlighter, and I'm going to take a little bit of it and apply it mostly here on the higher points of my cheeks. And then with a smaller brush, I'm going to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. And honestly, I feel like this is it. I do not know if I, at the end, even followed like the pro makeup artist steps. I do not think so. I think like at the end, I just went in with my way of doing it. But I think that, you know, maybe I was not set up right. You know, I did not have the right products, although I feel like you do not need to have the exact same products to recreate a look. But I was not going for recreating a look. I was going for recreating like a type of makeup, like a technique. And I do not know if I really nailed it at the end. I feel like my makeup is more of a regular makeup look, whilst there is like the model Instagram picture makeup that they do. But you know, this is just how it turned out. I am fine with it. I do like it. I do feel like it looks pretty. Anyways, I feel like at the end I just did what I would have done and not what the makeup artists do. But I feel like, I don't know, that's just how I like doing my makeup. And I just felt like, I mean, I did use some of their techniques, and I feel like some of them I might do, like the applying the lipstick as blush. I think that's really pretty, and I think that that just looks great because it complements the lipstick. But I don't know about like the whole foundation thing. I think like I need to try it with a different foundation, one that's better suited for how the look is supposed to end, because I feel like the foundation that I used, even with the oil, after all, it is a different type of foundation. It is a mattifying foundation, and so I feel like even though it looks pretty and everything, it was just not the same, you know? But you know, it is what it is. I do still feel like it looks very pretty. I do like the look a lot. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up, and also follow me on my social media. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye. Okay, so now for foundation. Foundation. Oh no, it's not here. No.